You weren't even recording that whole time? You motherfucker.
We should be recording the
Now we are.
pre-show.
Yep. Now we are. Is everybody ready?
Yeah, now that our mics work.
I
we're
think
not
so.
fumbling.
All right, everybody. If you don't know who that is, then you can just stop listening to this podcast and watching this video right now because that's Ricky Brabec, the American Dakar Rally champion.
Just a desert rat.
Just a desert rat, he says.
Desert
But this is the
rat.
official 2023 Dakar Rally pre-show from Dakar Rally Daily, brought to you by the Bivouac, which is new branding around here. We got a lot of new branding because we're launching so many new products this year. We had to come up with a main corporate structure, and this is the pinnacle, the Bivouac. Underneath that, Dakar Rally Daily, Ricky Brabec merchandise maybe under there. Who knows what we're going to bring on
That's
board.
too much work, dude. I tried that. Man.
Yeah. Well, we're dumb enough to do that too. So we do have some T-shirts and some, Dakar Rally Daily Bivouac T-shirts.
Yep.
And we're
Big
launching
news.
a new, I don't even know what to call it. It's a
fantasy league.
A game.
A game.
Dakar Rally
game.
Fantasy Derby,
Yep. So
where you can pick and compete against your friends
against
about
us,
up against me. Yeah,
against Ricky, he's going to be playing from Saudi.
he is. He's going to be banging his picks in the motorhome at night.
So Fantasy League, go to chainslayer.com/Dakar.
Yes.
And you'll be able to, each day of the rally, you'll be able to pick riders, any rider from all of the 124 entrants and bet money on each guy. Fake money.
Yep.
Fun money.
Yep. We're giving
And-
you all 124 fake dollars to wager against rider positions each stage. And then there'll be some factors. If you get them right, you'll get more money. If you get close, you'll get some money. And then we're going to keep track of winners every day, award some prizes. We got some sponsors coming on board for that. And then grand champion of the league.
Yes.
It's
And
gonna be me.
Free to enter.
It's absolutely free.
Just go to chainslayer.com/Dakar.
Yes, do it.
And
But before we get
you're
to that,
in.
we got to
So,
get to the race.
Good
the race
stuff.
has
Yeah,
to
we
start.
need to talk about the race because we can't start that without the race.
And we're doing this a little different. Usually we would bring Ricky in or go see Ricky and try to do an interview with him because he's badass, not just a desert rat, and he's cool. But today we're bringing him in, putting him to work. He's just part of our pre-show.
Yep. Go
We
host
want-
Ricky.
Part of the pre-show.
Big commentary. We want all your ideas and unfiltered opinions, please.
Perfect. I love it.
All right. What are we going to get to first? Do you want to get into
Awesome.
new rules?
Yeah, I don't know. We need to
New route.
talk to Ricky a little bit, I think, and just kind of, Ricky.
Guess so.
He's been to a few Dakars now. He's finished a few, and
Has.
he's DNF'd a few.
Harsh.
Unfortunately.
I mean, not entirely his fault, or
No.
maybe not his fault at all, but
I'd
got his
say-
first win in 2020. So first American to win the Dakar.
Yes.
This is a big deal for us in this part of the world.
This is why I said if you don't know who that is already, just get out of here. If you don't know and love Ricky Brabec, I don't want you listening to this crap. Just get out of here. Go golfing.
Oh, man.
That's right. So bit of a struggle in Dakar 2022.
Yeah, last year was a struggle.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was a struggle for a lot of people, though. On the first day, man, I think it caught a lot of people off guard.
The day just exploded like a grenade, blew everybody's plans up.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, things are a lot easier seen on the Google Earth than in real life. But yeah, no, it's difficult for sure. It took a while to get past all that. Obviously, that mistake kind of was in my head for the whole time, and I was just more or less pissed off at myself and the organization and the road book and everyone around me. But it is what it is, and we came back at the end of the year to still run number 2 again, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely good recovery there.
Yeah, and I remember talking to you last year before the race, and you were basically saying you need to race every single day. You need to go out and win. The days of holding back and taking it easy are gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then 23 rolls around, and half the field gets bit
Yeah.
on the first day, and then all of a sudden the consistency came in, and really like a guy like Sam Sunderland who just played it consistent ended up winning the race.
Mhm.
Yeah, correct.
So you can try to predict, but
That's
You
what
really
I try to tell people that, yeah, you can try to say exactly how you want to do things, but you don't know what to do until, you know, it's either too late or it's already happening. And this is how the Dakar is. There's no really waiting around anymore. I mean, now it's like a race every single day. So whether you're racing and doing your best and someone else is racing doing their best, it's like, okay, well, now it's going to come down to what terrain suits who better. That's who's going to win the stage. And now, you know, you're not going to wait because there's too much time to lose. And we're going so fast. And even like training, it's like, okay, well, what are we going to do training to try to be better at this? And it's like, I mean, we can go train as fast as we can, but man, it's freaking risky out there. You know, if you crash out in the middle of the desert, 3 days before you leave to Dakar, it's not going to be a good showing.
Without a helicopter and a medical team.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, the old days, guys would just go out and do road books and just focus on navigation and not even think about speed. It was just like getting used to navigating. And now these guys are all doing road books at speed.
Because that's the game.
They have to.
Yeah, and I don't even think, you know, back, you know, I don't even know how many years ago, but definitely, you know, in the older days, early 2000s, 2015, maybe even 2017 and 18, I didn't see anyone really training like we are right now. Like now I'm flying across the world to go training 2 weeks before Dakar. KTM and Gas and all those guys are doing the same thing. So it's like before, I think they were just going to the race, racing, and then going home and like basically had X amount of time off before the next one.
Yeah.
Now it's like, dude, we're getting done with Dakar and we're fucking looking, you know, we have a race in a month.
Yeah. It's nonstop. I mean, the KTM boys were just here training, testing, you know, a week and a half ago, and, you know, the Dakar is a week away.
Yeah, that's concentrated chaos because it's not just getting good at reading road books anymore. It's getting good at reading road book and also getting good at like predicting unpredictability, like with a screwed up road book or screwed up on purpose road book. So trying to like problem solve at speed, or more so than ever.
Yeah, exactly. And you miss one thing at speed, it
just compounds the loss.
It's dangerous. Yeah. And then even if you're trying to do it at speed and you're not looking at your road book, but you know you already cleared like 2 notes and you have to move the road book forward. Now you're like, all right, shit, I'm going to hold the button for 3 to 5 seconds and like hopefully it lands like on the next note.
Because you can't look down.
I mean, you can, but
You could
it's
if you
faster just to keep looking straight. And then you're like, all right,
it's got to be in the right spot.
I think it's in the right spot. Then you look down and you're like, fuck, like it was too long.
Oh, geez.
So now you have to scroll back, and then now you're slowing down.
You got to reset and make sure and
you have to reset, but you're like, fuck, I think I went too far. Or like, you know, it's every little thing counts right now. It's not just an adventure anymore. It's more of a sprint.
And there's seconds. Seconds are
I can tell you, I went out and I hadn't done a road book in several years, and I went out with Jordi Villadomes just you know, a month or so ago down in Mexico, and we took off across the dunes, and I was following the road book and riding and following the road book, and like after 10 kilometers we stopped, and the first thing I said was like, I'm so glad I don't have to race this shit. It's just there's so much going on, and at speed, I mean, you fly off a dune or it just the consequences are so high.
But your brain is like just fried, right?
Yeah,
because you can't like compute that fast all the time. But that's what you're training to do, is compute at that speed.
Yeah, I mean, your brain's not fried like the first week, but definitely now being 15 days. I mean, it was 15 days when I started Dakar.
Yeah.
Then it went to like 12. Mm-hmm. Then the Dakar I won was 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, dude, I got like,
it's like a sprint.
Yeah, I got plenty of energy left. And then 2020 I won. I was like so stoked that I wasn't really tired until I got home.
Yeah, and then it hit you.
And then it hit me, yeah. And then 21, I got second, but it was 12 days. Mm-hmm. But I wrote like a nice long email to Costera, like saying, dude, this Dakar, it was bullshit, because after 12 days of racing, I got home and I was like, I was ready to go for another week.
It didn't wear you out.
No, it was like they're trying to slow it down and make it more difficult, but it was like exactly opposite.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
So
So yeah, this year, 2023 now, we've got 15 stages, and it looks like some of the specials are big.
All of them are big, dude, except for
big
2 of them.
days.
Yeah. And so as long as there's not big neutralizations in the middle where you're riding on the road, and, you know, they love to do that where they'll put a
short
100
special.
kilometer, a short special, and then 150 kilometer neutralization, and then, you know, another 300 kilometer special in the end. And then they count it all as special time. So we're hoping that this is race time or race kilometers.
So it's not chopped up by
kind of have to see. Mm-hmm. But just based on the numbers, it's big.
Yeah, there's like 2 dune days that are like, one day is like 150K and the next day is like 120. Yeah. But I think this is one of those days where it's like a long transfer race and then a long transfer, because I think if you look at the totals, it's like 600K total, but the special is only like 120 or 150. Yep. But I mean, it's in the empty quarter, so it's going to be 100% sand dunes. And I mean, if anyone on this podcast, you know, wants to give anything like this a try, they can go like do it on a small scale, go to Glamis and go rip around for, you know, 75 miles.
Yeah.
As fast as they can, and they'll be pretty smoked. But I mean, the empty quarter's bigger dunes.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, well, we're riding a bike twice as heavy as your little sand Glamis bike, but it's like the same concept. So
it's going to give you an eye-opening experience.
Yeah.
You're going to be like,
I mean,
what?
The dunes, the mileage is much more condensed in the dunes. So it's not like you're on a flat out road and you're just going.
Yeah, your speed over the earth is slower because you're going up and down and around and trying not to fall in holes. And
yeah, you feel like you've been ripping for a long time. You look down, you've only gone like 800 meters. Fuck. Or you're like, all right, I've been riding for like, you know, whatever, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And you're like, all right, for sure I'm at the next note. And you're like, damn, I still got 3Ks to go before I make the change.
Gotta keep going.
Yeah.
I was looking for a turn.
So a couple of loop days. It seems like there's a few of those now. That do you like those when it's a loop back to the same bivouac, or do you prefer like
point to point,
longer point to point stages?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, some of the loops though is, I think, going to be a little bit tricky because I think we go on some of the same tracks from what it looks like, maybe
right,
outbound or inbound.
Yeah.
And then I think on one day, I think we're crossing the track from before. So it can definitely get confusing, especially if they like make a turn where you're doing like 20 to 30 degrees cap difference.
Yeah.
I think it could really screw some people.
Because you jump on the old track from the previous day or the previous morning or something. Yeah.
So what that means is basically you're on the track from the previous day's race, and then you make a 20 degree or 30 degree cap change. It's pretty slight if you're just looking at open desert. So 20 degrees isn't that much. So it's easy to get sucked onto the
staying on the
worn in track. But when you're actually supposed to be off a little bit and maybe 20 degrees off to one side or the other.
Yeah, that could be tricky.
Yeah, because 20 degrees over like 10 kilometers is going to get you far enough away. But if it's 20 degrees and you're just like, you know, your brain's tired, you're like, fuck, there's already lines here. I'm just going to
just follow the track.
Let's wait for a hard turn. Let's just go fast here.
Yeah. So, I mean, the loops are cool. I think it creates a lot more like rest for the crew because it's a lot of work, you know.
Yeah,
if you're racing and
driving.
If you're driving, but this is good. I don't know. I like to go adventure and like move spot every day.
Mm-hmm.
But then I mean, there's nothing worse than changing bivouacs and getting there like an hour before like the motorhomes and the campers, because then you're just waiting. But
yeah.
Hungry.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
That's like the original Dakar in Africa, where the guys would show up and they'd have to sleep next to their bike, and maybe the truck would roll in the next morning, or maybe not at all. But yeah,
scary.
So following tracks too, that kind of brings us to one of the new things that they may throw at you guys this year with the 2 different road books. And you know, the idea being is that they're going to give out 2 separate road books. And so the guy behind you could have a different road book than you do, or the guy in front of you. And maybe there's a waypoint that's a couple hundred meters to either side. They were talking a lot about this early on, and then it's kind of gotten a little bit more quiet. And so I'm not sure exactly how this is going to go, but
I don't think they're doing this.
Yeah.
You think they're going to give out 2 road books? I heard I heard it wasn't going to go this route.
It was in the original like new rules and plans and
so
the
I
new
think
the new hype. But
when they thought they were going to do digital, I think it was more feasible because you could easily just push a button and have a different road book. But if they have to print them all, then it makes a logistical problem and keeping track of who has what road book. And,
But then it's almost not fair because if I was racing against you and you're in front of me on road book A and I get road book B, then we go through Glamis more or less. And say you go through the bigger dunes and I go through say I go through the bigger dunes and you go through the shit small ones. I'm going to be faster through the dunes. And then now I'm going to get in front of you. And then say after this, the dunes, we're going to hop on that gravel road and just go 100 miles an hour. Yeah, now you're getting dusted out and now you're going to lose a lot more time. So it's like, how are they going to justify making the road books exactly more or less same speed?
It definitely raises a lot of
questions,
controversy, opportunity.
Yeah.
But,
and I mean, I think really the only way, like if I were doing it say I was promoting it or trying to make the road books, I would make the deviations small. So maybe it's a big valley, a big dune valley, and you have one guy go up the right side and you have a waypoint that's, 200, 300 meters apart. And so you have two different waypoints that you have to go and catch.
But basically on the same.
But basically the same. And then you come back together and, go from there.
But what for?
Keep guys coming from behind
and chasing
to follow tracks
because they'd miss a waypoint.
Get there and there's going to be tracks going two different directions. And then if they're not looking at the road book, which track do they take?
Yeah. But if it's only for a short time, it's almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not going to get lost. You're going to figure it out. But
I guess we'll be surprised if they do it maybe.
Yeah.
But also interested if anything crazy happens out of it.
If someone does get lost in one of those sections,
then it's just like protest city.
Yeah, everybody's.
Well, I think the problem right now was, dude, there's so many new rules right now, and none of them were tested.
Yeah,
Morocco didn't have any new rules. Andalusia didn't have any new rules, and now we're going to Dakar with speed limiter, opening bonus time, and then they wanted to throw.
AB road books.
AB road books. So it's like they have three things that they have to manage that they don't even know how any of them are going to work.
Right.
Okay, the speed one, we can just throw that out because that's a no-brainer. Whatever. If you go over 160.
Tell us about the speed limit, Ricky.
Yeah.
What do you think about speed limit 160 kilometers an hour?
It's a little bit of bullshit, but at the end of the day, our bikes really, we can do like 175. But Saudi's all sand, so I would bet you 160 to 175 the percentage of the time total that we were in this zone at the end of the rally is probably like 5 minutes out of 12 days of racing.
Yeah. Right. So you're not going that much over anyway.
Exactly. The only thing is like, okay, if they said 160 was the limit, then at least like give us some buffer. Like,
right,
162 is like 163 is the absolute limit. Because, dude, if you're going down a hill,
right,
just things like this.
Yeah,
but it's tough for sure. And like I said, the organization trying to throw all these new rules in at the biggest race of the year.
Plus, you guys have to build some sort of...
There's no better place to test than the Dakar.
As everybody's most important race of the year, depending everything. But you guys have to build in equipment on the bikes that'll warn you if you're hitting the limit or limit the bike to that speed or all those things that are also untested and unproven. That's just points of failure that could happen or just honestly a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
For something that is 5 minutes.
Have for a speed? Do you have a speed limiter? Do you have a warning light? Like what?
Ride by wire telling you to slow down, or is it just like, hey, you just pay attention and don't do it?
We don't know what the organization is going to provide.
Oh, okay.
Because if the organization provides the Sentinel buzzer, that thing's not going to freaking. It's not even loud enough, dude. When you're going 150,
you can't hear anything.
9 kilometers an hour. You're not, dude. You're not going to hear that thing freaking beeping.
Yeah.
But no, our bike's good. It's tested and we're happy.
It's proven.
Have you tested like for
limiting?
Speed limit or anything like that, or just
like
getting used to going 159.
Dude, I'm a big guy, man. The bike only does 160 with me on it anyways.
So you got to work. You got to work.
He's got a built-in speed limiter.
Yeah, I got a built-in speed limiter in my freaking belly.
Stand up a little taller, break the wind.
Yeah, no, we spent some time. So I mean, we're already.
I think everybody, that, and it's another thing is that like everybody's going to spend time on this, and they're going to focus on finding the best way to get as close to the limit on the rules as possible without losing time.
Yeah.
But then what that does is it makes the gap bigger for the smaller teams or the privateer guys that
absolutely
maybe don't have access to this technology that can, limit your speed and
warn you
or whatever. So, you have some guys that are going to get penalties and maybe, cost them positions because they don't have access to the same technology
or the time
that the
to
KTM
practice
guys or the Honda guys have.
Dude, like I said, 160 kilometers an hour is pretty fucking fast.
Yeah.
And it's like, I understand you have to go from, one side of the country to the other, and, the road books are big. You have to go do it fast, whatever. But stop putting us in these fucking valleys that are 30 kilometers long with 0 notes that are wide open.
Where clearly all you have to do is go fast and haul ass across it.
Exactly.
That's the only choice.
And then you don't have to limit it.
Yeah.
Because there's like, in Dubai, Sonora, and Andalusia, there's 3 rounds out of 5 that you'll never even hit 160.
Yeah, because it's not possible. You'd blow by a note. There's not enough room between the notes to go that fast.
Like Morocco?
Yeah.
Dude, we had like 25 kilometers along the beach.
What do you think you're going to do in a 25-kilometer straight section with an ocean next to you?
Wide open.
Yeah.
And, okay, Saudi, like I said, there's fast sand valleys where you can do.
It's big country.
You could do like 165, 168, maybe 170. But it's like, dude, don't put us on these valleys that are 30 kilometers long with 0, dangers in front of you that are just full gas. And the limiter makes no difference, really.
And I mean, it's the terrain. It's really the guys laying out the route and where they're sending you is what's making the race dangerous. And, if you crash at 100 miles an hour or 108 mile an hour, it's
the same.
Yeah, it's going to feel the same. You're not going to save anybody's life by keeping them under 160.
Yeah. Seems silly.
Or 100 miles an hour for the Americans.
Yeah, 100 miles an hour.
I mean, dude, you crash at 80, it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
I get out of bed sometimes and I'm like, that hurt.
Yeah.
Or sit at a desk. I'm like, damn it. I'm hurt again.
Hurts worse than anything.
Injury.
Sitting at a desk hurts worse than anything.
It does. It does. Don't get a desk job, Ricky. Don't do it.
Trying.
It's safer at Dakar.
So
speed limit's kind of a weird one. I think for everybody. Everybody was bummed about it.
I don't know anyone that's happy about it.
Well, I think they just think that the people we've talked to so far, they just think that what's the point? Like, it's not slow enough to reduce injuries, and it can't go any slower because we have to race. And like you said, we're here for 1% of the time that we're in this race zone at this speed. Like,
exactly.
Seems odd.
Yeah.
But it could be a factor.
Yeah, I mean,
when it comes down to the race, it's in the rule book and it's got penalties applied to it that are pretty steep.
Well, the speed penalties are fucking, dude, they're so brutal because you get
big.
one.
Yeah.
You get 1 penalty and it's normal. You get 2, it's double the time, 3, and so on. It's double, triple, quadruple. So
yeah, if you end up getting 3 speed penalties.
The last day in Dakar this year, I got a speed penalty by going over I slid into like a 30-kilometer zone. And I did like 32.
That's like a speed zone though, set up on the course. That's different. Yeah.
Yep.
But you still get a penalty.
The penalties are steep.
It's going to be the same.
Right.
And I got a 12-minute penalty for going 2 kilometers over because it was doubled.
Jeez.
Because it was your second one for the year, for the race.
It's crazy.
And, for people that don't fully understand, we're talking about speed limits in a race. There's a lot of places that there's maybe a village or something that they want to protect. Yeah. And so they'll put speed limits, and you have to slow from full race speed. You have to slow down to 40 kilometers an hour or 35 or whatever. And
it's really like
go
school
really
zone.
Slow. And the penalties are super steep. They track it on the GPS, and there's a buzzer that beeps at you. And so this year, for the first time, well, it's actually not the first time. I think they tried it back in maybe 07 or 06, they tried to limit the bikes.
Twin cylinders?
They did a restrictor.
It was a 690.
thing.
No, they did like a 93 mile an hour top speed limit.
Oh, jeez.
And it was like more dangerous because they're on 690s and they could go that fast in the blink of an eye. But anyway, new to this era, to the 450s, is this 160 kilometer per hour speed limit. And the penalties are steep. Like it could, if you got 12 minutes for skidding into a speed limit, think about how much you could get.
If you just like going 160K, you're not focused on your speedometer. You're looking ahead to make sure.
Just imagine like hitting 161 or 162.
Yeah.
Once every day in 15 days.
Yep. It's a lot of time.
That's a lot of time.
Yeah. You're going to be an hour
so
down.
it will be a factor for somebody, I'm sure.
Could be.
Or a speed penalty will be. This one's just an additional one. There were already speed limits out there in zones. So now we just got to throw this on top of everybody. And you've never raced with it before, as you mentioned.
And new to the new rule book this year also is these time bonuses that they're going to be giving out to people
who are going as fast as possible.
The ASOs decided to give people time instead of take it away. Take it away instead of give it to them.
But it's kind of contradictory to the speed limit. They're saying if you lead out a stage and you get to the waypoint at basically the refueling stop, which is up to 200K usually, something like that.
So, yeah, for the first 200K of the stage, they're going to give 1.5 seconds per kilometer
to the first guy. And then I think 1 second to the second guy and half a second to the third guy. Yeah.
So they're going to calculate how many kilometers you led of that section.
But
so
this
if you
is another
lead
crazy thing, because what happens if you're like this?
Who's in front?
First guy into the waypoint. Yeah, you're going into the waypoint side by side and you trigger it.
But this is also dangerous.
Yeah. I mean,
especially
I'm going to, elbow you out of the way for 5 minutes, right?
Exactly.
Ricky, if you lose any of those time bonuses at the end of that 200-kilometer bomb run, all of the American desert racers are going to be very disappointed.
Here's another thing. It's not every day.
It's not.
True.
Oh.
It's like 4 days, right?
I think it's based on terrain. So they looked at it and they said, okay, where is it a disadvantage to lead? And then they gave time bonuses for the stages that are going to be difficult to open.
So there'll be tricky navigation sections generally.
I think it'll be sand.
Yeah.
Sounds like sand's on the menu.
You're going to lose the most time leading in the sand.
Yeah.
That's kind of the hardest.
And you're going to also leave a nice line for everyone else.
Yep.
So the strategy is to get in top 10 consideration, catch up, and then pass at the end.
Well, no, because I mean, it's if you
go as fast as you can.
Yeah, if you open in the sand and you get 1.5 seconds, and then you lead to refueling, and you gain 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's the max you can gain. I think it's about 5 minutes.
Yeah,
but the guy in 10th is going to put he could put 30 minutes on you.
That's true.
So I mean, it's better because if I start first, and someone starts 10th, catches me at the end of a 400-kilometer day, I lose 30 minutes in general or whatever overall. But then I also gain
5 of those back or something by
4 or 5 minutes. So I'm not going to start the next day in 20th. I'll start in 12th. I'll start in still a good spot.
That's a good point. It does really affect your next day's starting order because it actually adds to your it takes away from your time for the day.
So you can work that to your advantage a little bit if you gain that time, but you're still not winning the stage.
I got it.
So have they announced what stages they're gonna?
Adrian told me, but I forgot.
Okay,
so that's the advantage of having a French guy on the team is, you know which stages. But
I don't know if it's any advantage, dude.
We'll get into that later. So if they do announce what stage they're giving time bonuses on, then they're kind of playing their hand a little bit. They're giving you information as to what is on the menu. Yeah. So
so you can predict that.
You can predict a little bit, and then you can play off of that.
It almost
because
backwards engineer your game plan to get there.
I'm going to try to lead this to here, and then or I'm going to want to start back today and make the big time. So I don't think it's going to change the strategy. It's just going to
shift it on how you make that strategy.
It'll just help a little bit.
It'll help a little.
It could be a good life preserver for somebody that gets screwed up one day.
If you start first and you gain your 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's a little bonus.
It's a little bonus, and then say you get 8th on the stage.
Yep.
you're still like, you're stoked.
You're
Yeah,
looking
that's
good. Yeah.
good finish.
Because at the end of the day, you only lose 12 minutes.
Right, instead of 30
Exactly.
or 25 or whatever.
Yeah.
That's pretty. That's a good
Because
point.
you already know, like, the first guy that opens, on average, loses 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Easy. Like, right off the bat. Right when their light goes green, the guy opening already knows, all right, well, I'm losing 10 minutes.
It's like I'm just riding back here now.
Yeah. So to have that little bonus time is nice because, okay, I'm losing 10 minutes, but I'm going to gain 4.
But to get that bonus time, you got to not F around in that beginning of that race because there's going to
You
be.
should never F around when you're opening.
It's true, I guess, unless you were trying to hold back and just like suck it out. But I mean,
it's easy to get caught in the dunes, by the second and the third guy. And then,
but are people going to be pushing like extra hard and put themselves at risk more than they would if they were leading down the stage, or is it not going to be like that way?
Depends on how much time they want to make.
Gotcha.
So generally, like a big dune stage like that, and it kind of groups up, and usually it's maybe the first 4 or 5 guys will group up, and then after that, the gaps will maybe a little too big.
The second group will be like, 7 to 9.
Mm-hmm.
So that first 4 or 5. So if you were sitting in 4th or 5th, and you catch up, and then you grease the refueling waypoint and collect the bonus, then like you're even looking better than the guy that was leading out.
Yeah, that's like the best.
If you can start 4th, and then catch up to the guy in first, and then just like tail him, so that way you can gain your seconds.
Yep.
It's not
That's
a
the
bad deal,
spot.
but it's not fucking easy.
It's not even possible.
None of it's
some
easy.
days.
That's
'cause
12 minutes right there.
None
You
of
got to
it's
try
easy,
to.
yeah.
everything we say about this race is always like, well, if you could do this, and then everybody's just like,
exactly.
yeah,
Well,
you can't say that because
we
it
talked about
never
earlier.
works
We're
out for
trying
plan.
We're trying to predict how it's going to work, but here we are.
It's not going to work out in any of those ways. What's going to happen is those bonuses and those speed limits are going to come in at the end of the day, and it's going to be like, wow, that ended up being a big factor today.
Yeah.
Not because I planned it to be a big factor today. It just happened to me to that day. And
then,
hopefully it's for the positive, but it's going to be like,
and then when we talk to you guys here in like a week and a half,
yeah.
but yeah, remember that the shit we were talking about in the studio?
Yeah, none of that.
We're predicting the race. Yeah, it's not. It's working exactly opposite of what we were talking about.
We're only going to call Ricky when he has a really shitty stage too.
Yeah, so we can get the real information.
Quinn's going to text
me. He's not going to want to answer. He's going to be like, what? Dude, come on.
Quinn's going to text me. Hey, dude, what's going on? You free? No, fucking Quinn.
No, I'm at work.
Leave me alone.
I'm at work. I'm at work.
I'm on fantasy.
We're going to.
Yeah, I'm on the Dakar Rally.
You can go on to our chainslayer.com/Dakar and try to predict this race for yourself.
Yes, you can. See what those time bonuses are going to do.
See if you can beat Ricky Brabec because he's in. We're going to sign him up right now.
He's in for sure. He'll
so
probably be good
so
at
life in the motorhome this year.
Yeah,
you're
what's
gonna be you're gonna have
changing in the
JC,
motorhome?
and then are you rooming with Nacho again?
No, me and JC, dude.
Solo. You got your own motorhome.
Solo mission.
Yeah, moving up.
Wow.
Okay, so
made
Johnny
it.
Campbell and Ricky Brabec.
Is Johnny
sharing the
Campbell in
motorhome.
charge of cooking now?
I'm gonna say yeah.
Oh no. Can he pull that off?
I mean, he has breakfast on lock. Dinner's a little bit more complicated, but I mean, we won Dakar eating in the bivouac, so we might just go back to that old style.
Maybe.
Bivouac
Just get
food. It's not too bad.
It's not that if you get there like when it opens, it's not bad.
It's like fresh
Yeah, but when you go like 10 o'clock at night, yeah, it's like the beef ankle's a little bit well done, and
beef ankle.
yeah,
Or maybe it's not beef. Maybe it's camel ankle.
yeah, camel ankle. Yeah,
No biofusions this year from old Kendall
Yeah,
though.
so Kendall's not going to be joining the motorhome team this year. So we're gonna miss talking to Kendall, and
That's really disappointing for
but-
me.
he's back racing again. Won the Baja 1000 again. So it's
Yeah.
good to see Kendall there crushing it.
Yeah, he's a legend.
But I think he needed to take a year off Dakar at least and regroup a little bit.
Probably.
I think he'll miss it.
Yeah, he will. He'll be back.
I was with him this week. He said he has a little bit of FOMO. He's gonna miss it, and I said, yeah, well, let me know how it is not going to your first Dakar in 3 years, because I've been at 8 of them.
8 in a row.
I don't know what it's like to miss one of them. So
8 New
Awesome.
Years away from everything
yeah,
and Christmas, basically.
yeah. This time I get to leave on the nighttime, Christmas. So
Christmas night.
Christmas Eve or
No,
Christmas Day.
no Christmas Day, but like
Okay.
6 p.m.
What's your how you getting there?
On a
going
plane.
straight to Saudi? Or are you going?
Yeah, I'm going straight to
Well,
Saudi.
yeah. Of course you're going on a plane.
You're not taking a boat?
We talked to Skylar, and he said he's taking the charter flight. He's flying to France and then taking the flight with the whole crew to Saudi. But you're going business class straight to Saudi from LA or what?
I go to Saudi to Istanbul and then Istanbul, Saudi.
Okay.
Or LAX to Saudi. LAX to Istanbul. Istanbul, Saudi.
And then are you going straight to the Bivouac? There's no
Straight to the
city
Bivouac.
time, right?
No city time.
They're keeping you guys safe.
Straight to the motorhome.
Straight to the motorhome.
Straight to Johnny
Life
Campbell,
in the motorhome,
Casa
an
de
extra 2
Campbell.
days.
Gonna be tired of being in the motorhome before the race even starts.
Well,
the motorhome's
awesome.
like the size of this desk with wheels.
You don't spend that much time in it. Just you spend most of your time on top of your factory
Just enough
Honda
time to-
rally bike.
Just enough time to be pissed off that you can't take a normal shit.
They're not full size bathrooms. I take it.
No.
It's not the Taj Mahal bathroom.
No, it's
I
not.
think
probably
we need
better
to-
than the
we need to
Bivouac
ship
bathroom,
over
though.
a real American style motorhome over there one of these days. And
Yeah, you need to get on that big diesel pusher program.
or, I mean, there's got to be some Saudi princes or
With normal size
guys
motorhomes.
with big motorhomes, diesel
Yeah.
pushers you could rent over there. Bring that thing in.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It costs a lot of money to get a motorhome from here over there.
ASO will never ban the motorhomes from the Bivouac because it's so much revenue for them that it's
They're like in this
it's
RV rental scheme.
just
They're
to get the
crushing
thing,
it.
just to get the thing in the Bivouac. I think it's $20,000 or
They're
something.
crushing
So
it. They're like, oh, you have a motorhome? Here's the bill. And everybody's paying it. They're like, heck yes, this
There's
is
like
amazing. I'm never
80
going
of
back to
them.
anything.
Never going back to a tent.
Never going back to a tent.
So the team this year, we got on Honda. I guess we've got a couple changes.
Yeah.
New
teammate. You lost a teammate.
Lost a teammate. Got a new teammate. We're
What do
doing
you
great.
think? What do you think? Better change over there? Better vibe under the Honda tent now?
No.
Same.
Worse.
Worse vibe. Oh,
Yeah.
no. Uh-oh. Worse vibe.
Where's vibe?
You and Nacho are bringing it still pretty strong, though, together?
Yeah, me and Nacho are fine. It's just, man,
The other side of the team's a little... They're not on the same program as you and Nacho?
no. You ever deal with, like, I don't know how to put this, but
I have a feeling you're going to figure out how to put this.
like a French guy?
French
Yeah.
guy? I
These
mean,
guys they can be a little different.
the only French guys I know are French Americans, so they're
Like,
different. They're
I mean,
pretty solid.
he's a really nice guy, but fuck, dude, he's so difficult. It's unbelievable.
How is it difficult for you specifically? Or is it difficult for yours? It's just like team dynamic stuff.
Team dynamic stuff.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Quinn's the same way in the podcast.
Yeah.
Like I'm easygoing, here on time, and he's like, "Oh, I need this. I want this. Where's my coffee? My chair's not comfortable." Like
I was going to complain about this chair.
he's the French guy
Really
in the
shitty chair.
podcast.
Yeah, no, it's tough,
Yeah.
but I mean, at the end of the day, it's not my call, so
Yeah,
I'm just
Yep.
there. I'm just a rider, so just do what I have to do, right?
yeah, I guess so. You're doing a pretty good job at that.
And then Beretta. So what's his deal?
He's got his own race
Obviously, they
team.
didn't renew his contract, and
No.
then he like put his own deal together, and Honda's helping him. Or?
Yeah, so I don't really know exactly what is going on. But yeah, like Honda basically said, "Hey, here's the bike,
Mhm.
and if you want to go, like, you have to come up with budget to go. But here's a bike and parts."
Mhm.
So obviously, everyone's seen his bike. It's just all black with a Monster logo. So for sure, he has a Monster sponsor, and I think he has like some
Private money
Some-
helping him.
private sponsors like coming on board to help him get there. But
Mhm.
yeah, he's not like a official HRC rally guy.
Yep.
But somehow
So is he under the Honda? Is he under the Honda truck or
Like
is
the
no.
mechanics and everything, or no? He's got
No.
his own deal.
his own deal, he's
Okay,
like-
so he's bringing his own deal, his own team,
his own
Okay,
everything.
yep, Okay,
Just like right now, it'll be like he's like a satellite team more or
Yeah.
less right now.
All right.
got it.
Be
So you
interesting to
guys
see how
got-
that works out. See if that is a trend in the future to have more people on bikes for companies that aren't under the factory team, that aren't renting bikes, that are their own independent teams. But it's kind of a unique case because you got to have a lot of money to pull that off.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys that do it from Europe, especially. You know, it's
But like to win stages like Beretta probably can.
Beretta can win stages on anything, but yeah, I mean,
there's just not that many guys out there that can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an animal for sure.
Dude.
But,
dude pins it.
Yep.
and he's like 40, 39 or 40.
He's got to be. I mean, he's raced, I think 2012 was his first Dakar, so that's
he's
10,
a
11
beast.
years ago.
11 years ago.
So he's been around a long time.
I think he's 39 from what he was saying when we were out here not too
Just
long
like
ago.
the speed he throws down, sometimes you're just like, what? Are you like, because everybody else is not like,
I think he just
slow
can turn
people
it
at
on.
motorcycles.
It turns off the brain.
He's got like one switch that goes crazy and goes.
Yeah, Beretta's he's a special.
Yeah.
So you got the two Chileans, the high maintenance French guy,
100%. That's
and
the
the
perfect way
American.
to put it.
And Ricky, the dirt bike and desert rat, as he puts himself.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just a chill guy.
Just
And
a
then,
chill dude.
Chill until it's not chill.
Chill with the short
Chill
fuse.
till he has to smack the French guy around.
Oh man, I really hope that doesn't happen.
You're really disappointing Jesse right now because Jesse has had this fantasy
I like him.
about Adrian for a
I
long
like
time.
AVB.
And,
I thought he was going to win some races.
man
Then he
crush.
broke his femur that one year, and then he's goes out and hauls ass, and then just didn't come through. That Yamaha didn't work out. He
Yeah,
won
we'll
some
see how he
stages
does
on
in the
this
Honda.
Honda already. That Honda seems to be working.
Well, I mean, it's a lot better of a bike than what he was on.
So he's happy. He's
Yeah.
pumped to be on the bike.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's talk about your bike. We've been talking to Quinn about this KTM deal, and all he's doing is rebuilding KTM rally bikes every month. I don't even know what he does at job other than KTM rally bike engineer over here. He's always telling me about all the parts he's putting on there, all the secrets. Actually, he doesn't tell me anything.
They got to keep him busy.
But last year you told us pretty much no development, no big things on that bike up to date. Same bike that they basically launched, went through some growing pains, and then standard Honda. Everything's fine. Put gas in it. It's very reliable.
Same bike.
It's the Honda Accord of rally bikes. It will always deliver.
Honda.
The
It's
Civic.
reliable,
Civic.
consistent.
Not even an Accord. I'm a Honda fan. I drive a CRV every day.
There we go.
It's rally inspired.
So
Yeah,
then,
no, our bikes.
Yeah.
Our bike's the same. It's good. Obviously, I think we do more suspension testing than anything, but no, the chassis, everything, same model, same bike.
It's got to be kind of a nice, comfortable feeling for you. You don't have to worry about anything.
It's really nice. It's really comfortable, and it's like you can ride it with confidence. But
Yeah.
now it's like our bike looks big compared to everyone else's because
They're all kind of getting,
they have motocross bikes. They're trying to go 100 miles an hour across the desert on a motocross bike.
yeah.
It's like, dude, I'll go 100 miles an hour across the desert in the Cadillac back here and just freaking sit on the back and let it eat.
Yeah.
yeah,
get
it's going to be interesting because the KTM now is, I mean, it's small. It's a little bike, and I mean, it still holds a lot of fuel, but it's
narrow
and small, and it handles like a motorbike. And Honda's kind of, I guess they set the bar initially, and then KTM realized they had to do something to get up to that level. And there's some compromises there, and but I think when we look at riders, KTM. So you guys have 4.
Yep.
KTM's got 6, and then
more or less, yeah.
And then what do we got? The Hero.
Yep.
Heroes.
Hero guys
Couple
have
guys.
4.
They got 4 riders.
Sherco.
Yeah.
Sherco guys out there.
So I guess I shouldn't say KTM's got 6, but
KTM has 2.
Factory Red Bull KTM's got 2.
Yep. Husqvarna.
Red Bull Gas has 2, and then
Husqvarna has 2.
has 2. So 6 in that camp. And
On the
4
same
in,
bike.
4 in Hero.
Same
We
bike.
got Ross Branch,
Kaimi,
Kaimi,
Rodriguez,
Rodriguez,
and
Joaquin.
Bueller.
Yep. So they got some solid guys. Like any one of those guys can win a stage.
Yeah.
I think Hero's going to be the dark horse bumping up there in standings. I don't think it's going to be Sherco.
They've got that's a new bike, and they developed their own engine in Germany, so I think the thing runs pretty good. It looks a little big and kind of dated.
It's just like a dated skin, but maybe a new heart inside of it.
And then Yamaha's gone, so
Yeah.
No more
Yamaha. Nobody really on Yamaha at all. But so the KTM
Hopefully they're
boys,
developing a new bike.
what do you think, Ricky? who do you think's
Who's looking strong
right now and solid from the gas or Husky KTM?
I mean, I don't know. Obviously, you guys had everyone out here. From media, because obviously, like, I don't hang out with those guys if they don't live close. But
you raced against them in Morocco and Andalusia, and
so yeah, exactly. I mean, Sam is good. He's, I don't know, maybe a little bit more smart now. Skylar rode well at Morocco. Luciano rode well at Morocco. They put themselves in a perfect position from the prologue, which was where I really jacked it up. Haven't seen Daniel Sanders all year. I know that injury. I'm guessing the injury is like still kind of jacked him up a little bit, because I think he was good, then he raced again and then jacked it up again at a local race.
Yeah, he's been struggling with that. He was here just
like 3 days
week ago, and he didn't last very long here, so it's going to be a tough one for him. And Toby
bad
too.
Injury.
Toby just had his wrist repaired, and so
but
he's
Daniel's fast. Toby, he's an animal. Like, dude,
he won't quit.
He won a Dakar with his broken scaphoid or whatever.
Yeah.
So I mean, dude,
that's hard.
Toby's pretty gnarly.
Yeah, he's a beast.
He's the gnarliest.
And like he's strong. Sam's strong. Matthias is another one. Like, he's strong, but he hasn't been at the races all year. I don't know what. I think he had a shoulder surgery or something.
I think so, yeah.
But he's been here in America doing. I mean,
road books all over.
We seen the KTM racetrack out there 2 days ago, but I think he's been doing suspension testing or something for.
They found my test loop.
Like, I found all of them, but Matthias has been riding a lot lately, so I don't know. I mean, obviously you can ride a lot and be good, but if you're out of the competition, it's a little bit different,
right?
Yeah, true.
Especially with such a big race, like so many days coming up.
But I mean, Dakar is different though. It's not like Supercross or motocross. It's you can train all year for the Dakar and still be like strong without racing any other event.
That's true.
Yeah. But Matthias is also experienced, so I don't know. I mean,
it's a lot of options over
from
there.
What we
see, good result.
From what we see, everyone's riding really well.
Yeah. The guy I'm a little bummed is that Sanders is
hurt still,
is not 100%, because that guy's got some
into stuff.
Just silly speed.
He's a little bit wild, but
he's wild, and he may not finish the whole rally, but it'd be fun to watch.
Yeah.
While it lasts, and for sure he's got potential to win and win stages and everything else, but he's pretty entertaining too.
Yeah,
that he is.
Wild.
Do you think he's going to start?
I think he'll start. Yeah.
You think so?
I think so. I would say he's kind of has to.
Gotcha. I guess he's got to try to finish. He's getting paid.
Yeah. Kind of have to. It's going to hurt like hell, but we'll do it.
Australians.
And Toby's the same way. I mean, he's going to start the race with a broken wrist, and any of us would be like, "Oh, I'm out." I'm
good. Thanks. I'll get another job.
But that's what's gnarly about Toby is like, dude, you don't see his pain.
No,
he handles his own pain, and he freaking still
rips.
He can get a top 5 every day.
I know, that's impressive.
Yeah, the talent, those Aussies, the skill that they have on a motorcycle, both him and Sanders, it's like it's a level
crazy.
Above, really, kind of where, no offense, Ricky, but like,
yeah, I agree.
I mean,
I agree.
We come from the desert, and like we ride a certain way, and but those boys can do stuff that is unbelievable on a motorcycle.
Yeah, it's because they're on the other side of the earth.
So when they're injured, maybe they're just down. That like knocks them down to like average
normal
fast guy,
average hero pace, not Australian hero pace.
No, but I mean, we were talking like me and Kendall, and it's like, dude, if you look at how much seat time Toby has, in his career, it's like, dude, he has more seat time than a lot of people combined.
Doesn't have to do a lot of practice.
He's got
ready for Dakar.
Yeah,
he's got a deep foundation.
Yeah,
he's spent a lot of time on the bike, and so
good base miles.
Yep.
Yeah, and his base miles are like
gnarly.
Most of our like race miles, our race mile speed.
Yeah.
Like his base mile is like
he's just cruising.
Just my normal. He said to us in an interview, winning that race with a broken wrist was the worst thing I've ever had. Now everybody's just like, "Oh, you're injured, but you won with a broken wrist, so it shouldn't be a big deal now, right?" And he's just like, "Damn it, I should have not."
But that's the problem, though, is like what Quinn just said. You know, they expect him to win still with a broken wrist, but it's like, fuck, man.
Yeah, sooner or later,
they really do.
Sooner or later, his wrist ain't gonna be able to work.
Right. He really feels that way. He's like, yeah, it's just now I have to win when my bones are broken too.
Then, like on the other side of that, we've got Mason.
Yeah, like just coming in fresh as
could be,
still wet.
Very, very few. I mean, he's got one Dakar under his belt, but previous to that, not much racing experience. And like the kid at first, I didn't really think he had the speed or could run, the pace
strength wise.
I just didn't think he had the like racing experience, but I mean, he ran up front a few times last year and like, I don't know how close to the edge he is, but it's just really impressive to see a young kid, someone come into it that fresh.
Like,
and
20?
Yeah, he's 20 years old.
He's 20.
Yeah, it's
maybe just turned 21 or something, but
yeah, I think he was 20 last year.
Yep.
At Dakar. I don't know when his birthday is.
So
I didn't send him a card. But he's like hyper focused at it too. Like nothing else in his world. He's not trying to chase desert racing. He's just like, no, I'm just rally. And he's 20.
And his parents are all in.
His parents are really helping him out.
This is
committed to it.
You're going to make a career out of this, or we're going to,
we'll go back. We'll get another job.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
but did you ride with him at all last year? Did you
in the Dakar?
Yeah.
For like, a couple stages.
Yeah.
Caught up to him, but
Yep.
I think he crashed or something last Dakar because one stage, he didn't really. Towards the end, like how many stage? Maybe like on stage 10 or something last year. Yeah, he was just kind of cruising. I think he was a little bit injured.
Yeah, he told us I think he lost 15 pounds or something
in Dakar.
Yeah,
yeah.
And he didn't have much on him.
He only weighs like 110 pounds probably.
So
he's not.
I don't lose any weight in Dakar.
He's not very big. Well, you had biofusion, but this year with Johnny Campbell cooking, you might drop a few pounds.
I hope.
Maybe this is a new diet program.
I mean, and that just shows like how green he is he just wasn't eating.
He wasn't piling it at the end of the day.
No one was really giving him the advice. So
yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it works out. Like he's got tons of skill and talent and plenty of practice. But
when I started rally, Quinn like took me out for my first time, and I was like, "Fuck, I don't know what I'm doing."
Yeah,
lost. Spent, dude. Well, now I look back at it, dude. We spent all day doing 200 kilometers. Like, fuck, that's only like 120 something miles. Fucking, we spent like 8 hours out there. Now it's like,
I know, and it felt like a long time for you. Then.
Oh, it was brutal.
Like, there's no way I could do any more than that.
It's brutal, yeah. And
they do that before a gas stop.
My first Dakar, I didn't really know anything. Like I knew whatever a little bit. Then like my second Dakar knew more.
Mm-hmm.
Third Dakar knew more. Like every year you just pile up more info and more supplies that you need.
Yeah.
Where like when Mason started and like Skyler started.
Yeah.
And Luciano started, they had a lot more experience than I ever had going to my first Dakar. I had more experience than Quinn going to my first Dakar.
So it's
and it's like
building. The younger generation's
it's evolving like a lot sooner. Like Mason did 2 years of Sonora.
Yeah.
Before his first Dakar, and then that's 2 years of Sonora, 2 years of training. Skyler was 3 Sonoras or something before.
Yeah,
Dakar.
he was.
Yeah,
you didn't have a Sonora rally before you started.
No, so that's what I'm saying. Like all the younger people that are coming to rally,
they're getting that real experience early.
Yeah, they're
just coming in more. They're all the knowledge is available now, and it wasn't like when I started. There was no knowledge available. No one really knew. There was no Americans doing it.
It wasn't even an idea that you would do that. You would be a national hare and hound racer or a desert racer first because that's what you know and that's what's local. And then you're like, oh, maybe later, I'll do that.
Well, like Quinn just said, there wasn't like road books that you can go build. And go practice.
There was no Rally Navigator. There was no program.
Really,
and now there's a lot of Americans that are like into it.
Yeah, really into it.
that are willing to help people. Like Jake Argybright's coming to Dakar.
Yep, exactly. We haven't even
But
talked
this
about
fucking
Jake
guy's
yet.
been
he's building road books every day. Like
Exactly.
another road book.
Like heavy. He's
Yeah.
he's probably like a rally navigator
I was
level
almost- I was
17
looking-
wizard.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at him like, man, you're doing a lot of navigation. Like you maybe need to work on some other stuff because
yeah, no.
We'll have to call him and ask.
yeah,
Yeah, and this is back to what we were talking about. It's like people that are coming into it. It's more available
Right.
to do it. Like when Quinn started, I didn't know what rally was, dude. I was young, but
Yeah.
I'm sure when Quinn started, he was just riding around the desert for like 6 hours a day. All right, I'm a rally racer.
I guess
So
I'm gonna go
before I
ride.
went to Dakar, the first time I did 2 road books in Pahrump around the beginning of December, and just had a road book mounted on I had to turn it by hand. Kendall followed me, and we rode around in Pahrump in like 25-degree weather, for 2 days, and there were Scott Whitney road books, and they were just kind of whatever. We got super lost and rode around, and then I went to the rally, and I'd never ridden my bike before. I'd never raced with a road book before Dakar, so it's you're starting from zero.
Yeah,
And now guys can go practice. They can have a whole year of navigation under their belt, and they can
On a
do
rally
other
bike.
rallies on a rally bike.
yeah.
And
There's a video game you can just play and practice navigation,
Well, and
which is what I'm good at.
And
Well,
it's
I'm
cool
gonna
to
be
see.
good.
Like
I'm
this
gonna
year,
start.
I think, what do we have? There's 10 or 11 Americans racing.
11.
So, yeah,
Yep.
they've
It's-
got all these
It's working.
the American Rally original guys. They
Yep.
call themselves.
Got the
There's
Malimoto.
5 guys racing in the Malimoto.
Original by Motul class.
Yep.
If we're
So
gonna get the right word, but yeah, like
So-
the passion's growing in this country for sure, and the resources are there to educate people on how to do it,
yeah.
even
And
if
it
you don't even have a bike yet.
And so what I have also, I have like a digital setup
Mm-hmm.
for
Yeah.
for like an enduro bike
Right.
Yep.
or like the rally bike too, but it's a lot of work to like take the box off, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have like a digital setup, dude. I could put it on like my 450X,
Right.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Just an iPad with a Bluetooth button,
Yep.
that's killer.
and you can go make a road book or download a road book into this thing, and
Mhm.
you can go do a road book. Obviously, fuel's an issue, but you can make the road book work to where you can get fuel every 50 miles or 60 miles. But back,
That
5
was
years
not
ago, this
available.
wasn't a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the first road book I ever did was in a enduro roll chart holder.
That little 2-inch, 3-inch
yeah.
wide paper,
So
whatever.
you
it
were
is.
squinting for sure.
Yeah, Bruce Ogilvy made us a road book for, and it was hand drawn, like
Yeah.
literally hand drawn. And we would roll the enduro roll chart by hand and look at these little hand drawn tulips. And it was, I think that was maybe 2007, 2006, maybe.
Jeez.
So
That's 15
Lots of
years old.
resources out there. I think Rally Navigator's crushing it. Obviously, Mike's a supporter of our show, and I think he's going to be
Dude,
a
that's-
supporter this
that's
year.
The best,
yeah,
the best system.
And it's like anybody can use it.
That's what I'm saying. It's like for people that are coming into Dakar
Yep.
now, they can have a lot of experience with the road books. I mean, yeah, they're not going to make a Dakar spec road book
Sure.
because they don't know what to expect.
Different languages,
But at
and
least
different
they
people do it. But
Yeah, they can look down and look up and get lost and say, "Oh shit, I missed the hole."
And that's really like that magic, like addictive thing about navigation for dorks like me. Like once you do it a few times, you're like, whoa,
Yeah.
I was just riding and not like paying attention where I'm riding. I'm like, it's a different experience. It gets like mental and riding wise, and it makes like normal rides really kind of boring after that. You're like, I'm just going to go for a ride,
Exactly.
just ride on this road and this trail. Like, well,
Yep.
why don't I have rules that I have to follow?
Exactly.
So
no, why
that's
don't
the
we
trick.
race?
Yeah, why don't we race, but like not with each other? Like you start first, and you make less mistakes. You'll beat me,
Or more mistakes, so I could practice.
and I'll beat you. Yeah,
Awesome. Well,
very cool.
It's cool to see like the level of things now this year for
Yep.
2023. We got a long rally, long way to the rest day. We got 8 days before the rest day.
Yep.
15 stages total.
Have you
Lots
put the
and lots of
work in?
kilometers.
Have you put the work in for that? You just got back from Chile, where you were. I think you said you were riding for 13 days on road books.
Yeah, I just did a Dakar in Chile.
Like-
I did the original Dakar.
Today's the 23rd, and you leave in 2 days to go to the real Dakar.
Yeah,
When'd you get back from Chile?
on the 14th.
So you just did a
Okay.
Dakar rally mileage,
just did.
basically.
No, it was like half a Dakar.
Okay.
But yeah, and then I did some road books this week.
Yep.
I mean, it's kind of funny because whatever I said that in 20 when I won, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Where I live is great. I love riding, and I just did road books the day I left. And now it's like, okay, everyone's catching on, and we're all doing the same thing. So now it's like, fuck, if you put all of us together, like on the first day out of the gate, it's like the level's much higher. We're like, back, when I first started, the level on the first day was like, okay, like let's catch the rhythm and let's all just cruise and be friends. But now it's like the first day, you're just.
No, they're trying to bury people right away now.
Yeah.
And you can.
Yeah.
You can put some people in a hole. We saw it happen last year. Like you guys got all screwed up in a silly road book section.
Yeah,
but
don't
the people
do that
didn't,
again.
just don't do that again.
Don't do that.
That was hard.
Because we don't want you grumpy for the whole rest of the
we want
rally.
something fun to
We
talk
don't want
about.
Ricky grumpy for the whole podcast.
Grumpy Ricky not answering our phone calls.
Not your bonus, but just we want you to answer our calls. So win
that
every day.
There's a lot of work going on, but you did bring up a point. Like you and Jimmy, Johnny, you guys really like dialed in the North American rally training thing from California to Nevada, and now all these foreigners are coming over here. Quinn's leading them around out here.
Whoa.
They can have it.
Easy.
Though.
Whoa.
Are you guys?
It's
Have you
funny
guys
'cause-
already moved on? Have you moved to the next secret spot?
No, because this year I didn't do any training with Jimmy.
You didn't this year, yeah.
I went to Jimmy's house, I think, before Morocco,
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
and that was it
Yep.
for 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, no, because normally, we do our own 2 weeks of training, but it's like, okay, we have Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. But no, I didn't do any of that. It was all in Chile.
Yeah, I noticed you guys were out of the country more
And then it's like,
than it has been in the last couple of years.
we're doing the same thing with KTM. Every race, we go a week and a half early
Oh, right.
to do
Road
week
books
of road
in the
books.
area, get used to the terrain, get the bike
Exactly.
set up for the terrain.
So every 5-day rally, we're doing 10 days.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
You just don't have much more time in your schedule to.
No, I need to freaking tell him I need a part-time job now.
I don't think you can go down.
You can go on the Barreto program. Just like show up at Dakar and
Just train 3 weeks
monster
before.
bike and
just win some stages.
Yeah.
Send it into it.
Yeah.
How many more races do you got in you think?
Dude, I'm only 31, so I don't know.
You got at least 10 more years.
I don't know.
Where are we at in contract?
Yeah, you on a
Times,
contract
what do you-
here, or you got a
No
Yeah.
contract year.
you
Got
signed
another
a
year?
2-year contract?
Yeah.
All right.
So at least that'll get me to 9 Dakars.
Well, you got to do 10,
Well, that's my goal.
at least.
I want to be marked like a legend on the.
Oh, yeah, get a legend
I
badge.
want to get a legend badge. Like a gamer legend badge. So that's my goal.
That's cool.
But I mean, once I
Right.
get to 10, I'll see. But if I get to 10, I'll be 33. So still like pretty young.
Pretty young.
But it's not
I was
easy, dude.
34 when I went to my first Dakar. So
Dude, it's
There you
not
go.
easy if you think about it. Like
No.
the first of the year, you're riding 5,000 miles, and then you have like 5 races.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, throughout the year, you're riding 10,000 miles.
And you're gone a lot.
You're riding 10,000 miles. Well, you're racing 10,000 miles, let alone
And
training.
you got to train on top of that.
And then you
got
got
to
to
travel.
I don't know. A lot of people don't understand. It's hard because you got to stay in shape all year long.
Yeah.
You got to stay healthy all year long.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, it's kind of a part-time job in a way because you have a lot of time off, but you're also gone a lot.
I wouldn't
think
call
it's
it a part.
I think it's a job and a half.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
a
from
full
like-
job
in
and
most
then
jobs
another
you don't-
part-time job,
You don't risk your life 5 times a year to.
or every time you ride
Yeah.
at speed.
But from like media, like from stupid Instagram, people like, oh,
Oh, it
you're
must be
so
nice.
lucky. But it's like, fuck, dude. I woke up early this morning and I had like fucking eggs and spinach, and I went to the gym, and then I came home, had a snack, and then I went mountain biking, and then I came home and I ate like vegetables and chicken.
And I've been hungry
I'm
all
so
day.
lucky.
And I've been hungry.
Yeah.
I'm so hungry. And all I want to do is like go hang out with my girlfriend, and I can't because I
Yeah.
got to go train.
Yeah, exactly. It's,
Everything looks cool on Instagram, but real life
Exactly.
is, you're out getting hit by cars and
Dude, right?
drinking. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
let's
fuck
talk
road
about you
bikes,
getting
dude.
hit by a car on a road bike.
gnarly. I don't suggest that. Like, dude. I don't
Worst
suggest that.
crash of your life.
Yeah. Dude, it happened so fast.
You were stopped? Or
No,
were
I was pedaling.
You were pedaling, and
Yeah.
they swiped you?
No. Sideswipe me, dude. They fucking hit me with their hood.
T-boned you.
No, they like rear-ended me at 60 miles an hour.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, gnarly.
They just rear-ended you.
Basically, yes.
They're like, there's nobody going to be riding a bicycle over here. I'll just go fast in this shoulder.
And a rally guy, you know, most people just lay there and wait for the ambulance. And, you know, the rally guy is like, gets up and, oh, dude, you fucking look what you did to my bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at my bike. It was like just in pieces in the highway. I'm like, dude, get my bike out of the road. Stop causing traffic. Where's my phone at? My phone's like up the road. My AirPods are back there. My water bottles are everywhere. My wheels over there. My seats. It was just.
You're lucky you were in one piece.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was like, luckily I was in the drop, like in the lower bars.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's like what helped a lot, because I think if I was more up, I probably would have got ran over. But I got hit and then like
pushed you.
I flew through the air. So I don't really know what happened. I'm sure
Crazy.
the car behind me saw like just a fat body flying through the air like a yard sale, but it fucking hurt, dude.
Yeah. I mean, that's the risks that people don't think about too, is you're out training, you're on the road bike, you're, like it's hard to make it through the year healthy just practicing, let alone racing.
Yeah. Every day you got to think about your job, which is to be a rally racer.
Yeah.
There's no off days really. And if you do get a break day, it's like, this is temporary because I got to get back on the program soon.
Yeah, exactly. Like when you go on vacation, it's really nice for like the 4 days, and then you're like, fuck.
I dug myself in a hole.
I got to go back.
Awesome. Well, we said we weren't turning this into a Ricky Brabec interview, but we kind of did. But
how often do we get
I know he kind of helped us with our Dakar preview and insight.
Yep.
So,
he gave us some insight into the new rules, how they're going to shake down with everybody's race strategy or not.
We don't know the race strategy. We'll figure that out.
There's no such thing, is there?
Day by day, that's the only way to do it.
Well, thanks, Ricky. We appreciate it. We want to see you on chainslayer.com/Dakar, the fantasy league.
Yeah, you said I could sign up.
Yep.
We'll sign you up right now. As soon as we're done here, we'll sign you up.
And everybody else can try to beat you.
I'm going to bet so much money on just one guy on the first stage.
I know who that is.
He's all in.
Just going to win all this fake money.
This is awesome. It's going to be super fun to follow along this year.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
Fantasy league, Ricky playing along. Maybe we can post his daily results up there so everybody can see it. And next to ours.
We should just a Ricky corner.
All right, we're gonna get some coding done and add Ricky to the page.
No, it'll be fun. I think people will enjoy it for real.
Yep.
Cool.
All right. Sweet. Thanks, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys
It's
for
been
having
great.
me.
We're gonna call you and bother you like normal. So
sounds great.
All right,
sorry about that.
So
That's what I love.
Dakar Rally starts December 31st with the prologue, and then stage 1 is the 1st.
Happy
January.
New Year.
Happy New Year.
Get it going.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned. More to come.